Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for attending today's conference call and webinar. My name is Michael Corgett. I am one of the retirement advisors here at the Retirement Group. And for over 30 years, we at the Retirement Group have been working with the employees of Fortune 100 and 500 companies all over the country, helping them to achieve a successful and comfortable retirement. We have created this online book of webinars, both recorded and live webinars on all sorts of different subjects. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about pension options. So definitely check out all of our webinars. Go to the retirementgroup.com, our website. You can grab your specific company retirement guide. You can sign up for future webinars as well as view many of the recorded subjects in webinars that we currently have. Check out our ebooks library, our flip books, sign up for our newsletter, and even check out our blog. These are just many of the resources that we have available to you that we feel that you'll find very valuable. Now, again, we've been around for a while. We've been working with these employees for many years. I myself have been an advisor for quite a while. And as I said, planning for retirement is probably one of the most important things that we do for people. And one of the things that we really like to talk about is our complimentary retirement cash flow analysis. We call it our Retire Kit. This is a service that we offer to anyone and everyone that we talk to. And what it does is if you give us all of the relevant data on your pension, your 401k, all your savings and investments, everything that you've got earmarked for your own retirement, we could put together this cash flow analysis and take a look at either one or several different scenarios or snapshots of your specific situation to show you whether you're on the right path towards a comfortable retirement. We'd love the opportunity to do this for you, and all you have to do is reach out to our office. So let us try and do that for you. So first thing we want to do is talk about a retirement planning checklist. These are 5 objectives that all need to be met for you to have a comfortable, successful, and enjoyable retirement. The first one, being comfortable and emotionally ready, is really up to you. Are you ready to go? Are you being able to retire and or leave the payroll on your own terms? Or are you just being tapped on the shoulder and being asked to leave, hey, we no longer need your services? That happens a lot. It has happened a lot in all of our careers. It is currently happening a great deal right now with many of the companies that we work with. AT&T, Chevron, Exxon, some of the utility companies, they're all laying off a significant amount of their employees, and many of which just don't know what to do. And you probably should be talking to some financial advisor, whether it's one of us, or someone that's in the business. The other 4 objectives are up to really us to help you to achieve. Certainly, we want you to maximize your retirement income from all different sources and taking it from those sources at the right time. You want to be able to minimize income taxes. Again, something we could certainly point you in the right direction, help you to decrease the volatility in your portfolio. We at the Retirement Group manage our clients' assets for them. It is our job, amongst other things, to minimize the volatility in your portfolio. And then finally, develop a philosophy with a financial advisor, because we certainly have the wherewithal and the knowledge to point you in the right direction. Working with one of us, we've done this hundreds, if not thousands of times, and we would look forward to the opportunity of doing it for you too. So whether it's myself or one of my colleagues or any financial advisor that's relevant and trained and knowledgeable would be very helpful for you. So let's talk about the 3 different sources of funds that go into retirement, and then we'll talk about one of these a little bit more specifically. Your pension and your Social Security are 2. Obviously, they're fixed income sources most likely, meaning that you're going to start to collect the monthly benefit, and it more than likely will not change. There is some cost of living built into Social Security, but it's typically eaten up by the increases in premiums for both Medicare Part B and Part D. So we typically don't even build a cost of living into Social Security when we run an analysis. The pension, again, is fixed, and we're going to talk about many of the different options that are available to you here in a moment. And finally, your 401k as well as other savings for retirement. I like to think this is probably the most important of these three pieces of the puzzle. It's because what you do for yourself is going to be the most important thing, and it will really be the difference between an average retirement and an exceptional retirement. The more money you put away for your future, really the better off you're going to be. And I've seen that many, many, many times over my career, the difference between a saver and a non-saver, how much more comfortable savers are going into retirement. And I also like to say too, the sooner that you begin to plan for your retirement, the better off you're going to be. Don't wait until you get that letter or that email that says, oh, we don't need you anymore, you've got to move on. Start as soon as possible. That's what we're all here for. We've seen that people that start planning even 5 years prior to retirement are much better prepared for retirement than those who did not start planning for retirement. So now let's talk a little bit about the different pension distribution options that are available to you, more than likely some of which may not be available to certain employees of certain companies that we talk to on a regular basis. But starting with the single life annuity versus the lump sum. Now, some of the employers we work with, like Caterpillar and Boeing, only offer annuity options. They don't offer a lump sum. Many of the companies like AT&T, Exxon, and Chevron do offer lump sums along with the annuity option. And we'll talk about how those lump sums are determined here in a few minutes. You've got several different fixed income options, pension options, that you can elect. The largest of which is typically the single life annuity. So it's based on just you, your age, and what you've earned through your employer. It's going to be the largest monthly amount. It dies most likely when you die. So whether you live a year or 25 years into retirement, that's how long you'll collect your single life annuity. When you die, there is typically no survivor benefit at all. That's why it's the largest monthly amount that you'll receive. But in some cases, there might be a small lump sum available to your beneficiaries. Joint and survivor options. For those of you that are married and want to provide your spouse with a benefit, you have several different options to choose from. 3 examples would be a joint in 50% or 75% or 100% survivor option. The more you choose to provide your spouse, the lower your monthly benefit is going to be. That's obvious, okay? It's based on 2 lives, 2 actuarial lives based on life expectancy. Just a simple example to keep in mind, a joint and 50% survivor would reduce your benefit by approximately 10%. A joint and 75% survivor would reduce your benefit about 15%. And then finally, a joint 100% survivor would reduce your benefit approximately 20%. That's obvious because it's going to provide your spouse with a benefit when you pass away. Now, many of the pensions also offer a pop-up provision. And what that means is if you choose a joint survivor annuity and your spouse predeceases you, your benefit will pop up to the single life annuity amount. Not all employers do offer it, but many of them do. And these survivor benefits can also be self-insured. It's an insurance discussion that we often have with people. It can be done many times on a much less expensive way by self-insuring your survivor benefit. It's a different discussion, but it's the discussion that we would be happy to have with you. And then we've got what we call period certain options. Single life annuity, it's going to be a smaller benefit because yes, it's going to pay out over 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, or 20 years. The beneficiary could be anybody or several people, okay? You're single, you only have an annuity option. If it offers a period certain, you could provide your children or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or just your estate the balance of your payments in the event you die prior to the period that you chose. Simply stated, if you took a period certain of 10 years and you died 2 years into retirement, the balance of those 8 years of payments will be paid to your named beneficiaries. So it all is not lost. There are no other lump sum benefits payable, but that monthly check will continue for the period certain that you chose. So please keep that in mind as well. And now lump sums. Like I said, some of the employers we work with offer lump sums. Lump sums are going to be based on primarily what you've earned. So you typically have earned a monthly pension. So it's a bucket of money that's actuarially determined, a present value. The dollars that go into that bucket are going to be based on your age. The younger you are, the more money that needs to go in. The older you are, the less, okay? And interest rates. Interest rates really are the key. In the case of AT&T and some of the other employers we work with, there is a 3-tiered corporate bond rate. In the case of AT&T, that rate is looked at and used in November of the preceding year, and then for the entire following year, those rates apply to every lump sum calculation that is made. Now, in the case of AT&T, it's looked at, again, only once a year in November. Some of the employers we work with look at those rates quarterly and allow their employees to determine which quarter's rates they want to use. And right now, we are working with a lot of folks who are retiring, whether it's on their own accord or not. And interest rates really are, those 3 rates are much lower now than they were in November of last year. So we can run lump sum estimates to give you an idea of what your lump sum could look like if you chose to defer it into next year. It's an idea, okay? I can't tell you that these rates are going to stay low. There's a lot going on in the world, this crazy world we live in now, and we have an election coming up in November. I don't know what that's going to do to interest rates or the stock market, but it certainly has polarized the United States. So please keep that in mind. You may retire right now, but you might want to consider waiting to take your lump sum in the beginning of next year while we wait to determine what those interest rates are going to be. Those interest rates, simply stated, the interest rates are important, as I said, and think of it as a teeter-totter. I like to think the lower interest rates are, the higher the lump sum, and vice versa. A simple teeter-totter when we were the kids. A perfect example would be if interest rates were 1% lower this year than they were a year ago, the average lump sum would be between 8 and 12% larger with that 1% reduction in interest rates. That's a basic example. It does apply to most plans. And then finally, if you choose to take the lump sum, you don't want it to be a taxable event. You want to take that lump sum and roll it over into an IRA. We use Charles Schwab for our investment platform to keep those assets tax deferred, and then establish some sort of income stream from that IRA. You may combine your 401k assets into the same IRA, and then that income stream will be what you've chosen to take, at least starting for now. And depending on your age, there are some limitations. We like to talk about post 55 as well as 72T. I won't get into those, but these are things we can help address and explain to you. And then finally, take advantage of the cash flow analysis. 74% of individuals wait too long to plan. They don't have a written plan. I've always liked to say, this is a statistic I learned many years ago, people will spend more time planning a 2-week vacation than they will their own retirement. Don't let that be you. Some of your goals I've just spelled out here, but Take the time to run a plan. Look at your situation, check out all our resources, determine what type of investor you really are. Let us run a 401k asset allocation analysis too. We can help you to determine what's the best time to retire. I want to thank you again for taking time out to visit with me today. I certainly hope this information has been helpful. We do these conference calls every Friday at 2 p.m. Central, 12 Pacific, 3 Eastern. We do webinars almost every week around noon. So check out the library, go to the website, and sign up for some of our future webinars. Thank you, and have a great weekend.